Welcome back to Pulse with Robin. Today I have a 20-minute ab and glute Pilates burner for you. Let's get right into it. You can start laying on your back, knees bent, feet flat, about a hand's distance away from your glutes. Inhale, find a neutral spine so there's a small space in between your low back and your mat. Exhale, tilt your pelvis, press your low back down into your mat. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, tilt your pelvis. On your next exhale, tilt your pelvis, slowly start to roll your hips up, pausing at the top for an inhale. Exhale, slowly roll your hips down. I want you to focus on keeping this movement super slow, focusing on that articulation of your spine. So you are rolling those hips up one vertebrae at a time. You are rolling those hips down one vertebrae at a time. Don't forget to pause at the top for an inhale and pause at the bottom for an inhale to find that neutral spine. Moving at your own pace here. Warming up your glutes, hamstrings, your spine, your core. This is one of my favorite exercises to start with, initiating that mind-body connection that I want you to continue throughout the rest of this workout. So rather than just going through the flow of the movements, I want you to really focus on the muscles that you are engaging and letting your breath guide you through those movements as well. Next time your hips are high, hold at the top. Press your knees out to the sides of the room. Bring them back over your ankles. Slowly roll your hips down. A little combo exercise. Rolling your hips up. Press your knees out. Returning through center. Slowly roll your hips down. Trying to keep your hips lifted as high as possible as you press your knees out and back in. Try to keep everything super stable through that movement. You are just pressing your knees out and returning. Next time you're at the top, hold your hips lifted. Just press your knees out and in. Hips stay high, knees press out and return. Try not to let your knees cave in. You are stopping when they are just right in line with those ankles. Pressing out and in. Last 3, 2, and 1. Pulse those knees out to the sides of the room. Tiny pulses out and out. Keep your hips high. Only thing moving is those knees. Little pulses. You can do it. Last 3, 2, keep your hips lifted. Pulse those hips up and up. Press your hands down into your mat to get those hips a little bit higher. Keep going. You're almost there. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll your hips down for a quick break or keep them nice and lifted. Bend one knee into tabletop, lower down, bring the other knee to tabletop, and lower. Slowly lifting that leg to tabletop and slowly lowering down. Nice, smooth, fluid motions here. Next time you lift your right leg to tabletop, hold it lifted. Extend it up toward the ceiling, lower your straight leg, and bend it in. little bicycles with that right leg. Hold that right leg straight up to the ceiling. Slowly lower your hips down and slowly roll your hips up. Right leg stays nice and straight. Hips are square, so you're not dropping all of your weight into that left side, causing your hips to twist. Your core is super stable and engaged. Last 3, 2, last 1. Hold those hips high. Let's pulse. Pulse those hips up and up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll your hips down. Let's take a quick breather before we switch sides. Take some knee swipes, dropping your knees to one side of the room and then the other. And when you're ready, come back to center. Feet are flat, knees are bent. Slowly roll your hips up and hold. Bending one knee into tabletop and lowering, bending the other knee to tabletop and lowering. We are back to that slow and controlled marching movement. Your hips are staying super high. You're squeezing your glutes. Your core is engaged. Next time you bend your left knee in, hold. Extend your left leg up towards the ceiling, lower your straight leg down, bend your knee back in. Bicycles with the left leg. Hips are staying square. You're not dropping all your weight to one side, causing your hips to twist. Hold your left leg straight. Slowly roll your hips down and slowly press your hips up. Left leg stays super straight. Slightly pointing through those left toes to keep that left leg engaged. Last 3. 2 more. On your last one, hold those hips lifted. Left leg stays long. Pulse those hips up and up. Tiny little pulses. Last exercise here. You can do it. Last 3, 2, and 1. Roll your hips down. Take some knee swipes, dropping your knees to one side and then the other. Amazing, amazing work. So the bad news is I have a little bit more glute work for you today. But the good news is you're at the halfway point. So the first half is already done. We are flying through this workout. Let's come on to the right side, propped up on your right forearm. Both knees are bent, stacked one on top of the other. Keeping that top leg bent, just lift and lower. Lifting and lowering that top leg with lots of control. I want you to especially focus on control on the way down. Keeping that leg bent. Hips stay stacked so we're not rolling back onto our supporting hip. Next time you lift your top leg, extend it long. bend it back in, and lower. So we lift, extend, bend, and lower. Keeping that leg lifted in line with your hip as you extend and bend, and then lower it back down. Last 3. 2 more. On your last one, hold it lifted, extend and bend. Leg stays lifted, just extending and bending that top leg. Think of really squeezing your heel into your glute as you bend that leg and then extend it long with control. Let's go for 3, 2, last one, extend it long and hold. Point your toes, draw tiny little circles. Switching direction in 3, 2, 1. Tiny circles in the other direction. For 3, 2, 1. Last exercise, let's pulse it out. Tiny pulses up and up. That movement is coming from your hip joint. Even though it's fast, keep these pulses controlled. Last 3, 2, and 1. Relax down. Extend both legs long together on an angle to the top corner of your mat. Reach your arm up and overhead. Bend your knees and your elbow in towards each other. Extend your arm and your legs long to a hover. So bending elbows and knee together. Extend your arm and your legs away from each other. Balancing nice and steady on that hip. Next time you extend your legs and your arms, hold them long. Reach your hand toward your toes. Lower, bend your knees into elbow. Little combo exercise. Reach hands to toes. Lower, bend knees and elbow, extend. Next time your legs are long, keep them long. Just staying with those toe taps. Reach hands to feet and lower. Last one, really reaching towards those toes and lower down with control. Let's come up into a high plank, shoulders over wrists. Core is engaged. Lift one leg up and lower. Lift the other leg and lower. Core and shoulders are staying super stable, using your glutes to lift those legs and lower. Lifting and lowering with as much control as possible. Next time you lift your right leg, hold it lifted, tiny pulses. For 3, 2, and 1. Right foot comes down, left foot comes up. Let's pulse that left leg up and up. For 3, 2, and 1. Relax down. Let's take a breather, finding a child's pose. Reach your arms forward. Hips are heavy onto those heels. Take one last deep breath in and out. We have to do that all again on the other side, so let's come down onto the left side. Propped up on your left forearm. Knees are bent and stacked. Keeping that top leg bent. Lift and lower. Top leg stays bent throughout this movement, lifting and lowering. Again, focusing on that control, especially on the way down. Next time you lift your top leg, hold. Extend it long, bend, and lower. Lift, extend, bend, and lower. Movement is coming from that top leg. Everything else is super stable. Next time you lift your top leg, hold it lifted. Just extend and bend. Extend and bend. Knee stays lifted. As you bend, squeeze that heel into your glute. Don't let that knee drop. For 3. Last 2. Last 1. Extend and hold. Point your toes. Make tiny circles with that leg. Reverse the direction in 3, 2, and 1. Tiny circles in the opposite direction. For 3, 2, 1. Last exercise, tiny pulses up and up. Pulsing with that whole leg. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax your leg down, shake it out. Let's do those obliques on the other side. Extend both legs long and together on an angle. Bend elbows to knee, extend, hovering those legs. Focus on that hover of those legs. Don't let those legs touch the mat. Pulling those elbows and knees together. Next time you extend, let's add that toe tap. Tapping hands to toes, lower. Elbows to knee, extend. Hands to toes, lower. Elbows to knee, extend. Let's take out that bend, just tapping your hands to your toes and lower. For 3, 2, last 1. Awesome job. You have made it to the finale of this workout. Come down onto your back, knees are bent, feet flat on the mat. Hands behind your head, elbows wide. Curl your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat. Slowly lower back down. So curling up with control, slowly lowering down. Trying to get those shoulders up off your mat. So really curling up, slowly lowering down. Last 1. Slowly lower down. Bring your knees up to tabletop. Exact same movement. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders up and slowly lower down. Knees stay stacked right over your hip joints. Just lifting that head, neck, and shoulders and lowering. Everything else is super stable. Last 3, 2, last 1, hold at the top. Tap your right toes down, and lift. Tap your left toes and lift. Alternating toe taps. Head, neck, and shoulders are staying lifted. Elbows are wide. Keep breathing. Lightly tap your toes and lift to tabletop. One more on each side. Let's take this to double toe taps. Tapping both toes down and lift. Tap and lift. Legs stay glued together. Again, your head, your neck, your shoulders staying lifted. Use those lower abdominals for 3. Last time, tap and lift. Hold it there. Pulse that head and chest up and up. Tiny little crunches for 3, 2, and 1. Relax down, hug your knees into your chest. You made it. Let's stretch it out. Keep hugging your right knee into your chest. Left leg goes long on your mat. Left hand guides your right knee across your body. Opposite arm and head go in the other direction. Slowly untwist, grabbing behind your right leg. Right foot goes up toward the ceiling. Let's switch legs. Right leg goes long, hugging your left knee into your chest. Right hand guides your left knee across your body. Opposite arm and head go in the other direction. Slowly untwist. Grab behind your left leg. Left foot comes up to the ceiling. Slowly lower that leg down. Let's come on up. Sitting your hips back to your heels, reach your arms forward in a child's pose. Shift your weight forward, hips come down to the mat, looking up, arching your back. Arms are nice and straight. Let's do that again, sending your hips back to a child's pose. Shift your weight forward, hips come down to the mat, looking up to the ceiling. One more time, sitting back into a child's pose. And flowing forward, hips come down to your mat, looking up to the ceiling. Whenever you're ready, come sit in the middle of your mat, either sitting on your heels or sitting with your legs crossed. Spine is nice and long. Let's take a few deep breaths in and out. One last deep breath in and let it all go. Amazing job today. That was a tough one. You did it. Thank you so much for moving with me today. I'll see you next time.